was leader of the opposition when I was Minister for Roads and Public Works. We teamed up together to defeat a constitution that Kenya did not want. In fact, he's one of the founding members of my party, the Orange Democratic Movement. Then after the last disputed elections of 2007, after too much suffering and bloodshed, we formed a coalition government, a grand coalition government. I became the Prime Minister, and he was my Deputy Prime Minister. So we are colleagues. We have worked together for a long time, we knew each other. So we said, we want to bring the people of Kenya together. We must address the constitutive factors which have kept our people apart. And as is mentioned, first, I was hesitant to attend the meeting. After a lot of discussions with the emissaries, agreed that he should meet. He came to that venue driving himself with only one person. I also went to that venue driving myself with only one person. Just discovered the details of how we interacted. It was exactly 13 hours, the first meeting. We adjourned. We met again 2 days later for another 6 hours. We now agreed that we now, our meeting of minds, we can now call other people, experts, to come and put it together. And then he brought one person and I brought the other person. One of the persons we brought is he put it to paper. They went and made the drafts, brought them to me, and made some alterations. He altered also, until we eventually said, this now reflects our thinking. We discovered, one, that there are no national ethos in our country. We talked about shared prosperity or disparity in terms of regional development. Ethnicity as a factor that divides our people. We talked about issues of corruption as a cancer in our society that takes away resources which are meant for development. Then we talked about insecurity, divisive elections. As you already mentioned, how elections divide our people along ethnic lines, and every 5 years, you only work for 3 years, 2 years, people are watching what's going to happen, or both sides of the elections. Then we talked about unemployment in our country, the youth unemployment. So there are all in all 9 factors that we identified. And we put as a team to go and now put it together in writing. And indeed they went and put it in writing, and then eventually we launched it. And we called it the Building Bridges Initiative. Bridges to unite our people. We say that we likened our journey to that of the Israelites from Egypt to Canaan. And say that we already passed the Red Sea, we passed the Sinai, and then we reached the River Jordan. We were on the banks of the River Jordan, but we found it infested with crocodiles. So I told my brother, let's build bridges so that we can be able to cross the Jordan into Canaan. So building bridges to fight corruption, bridges to unite the people, bridges to create friendship among our people, bridges to ensure that the elections will be free and fair and democratic, and so on and so forth. That was what we said, that let us build the bridges, and it's called Building Bridges Initiative. So where we are right now, we are in the process of now owning, because the team, we set up a task force, which has gone around the country, has come up with a report with the recommendations. So we are right now in the process of now getting ownership of that report, discussing it to enrich it, so that we can agree on what actions require purely administrative measures, what others will require additional legislation, yet each other ones require constitutional amendments. This is where we are right now. And it's a very lively debate in our country today. And we believe that in not too distant future, we will get some kind of consensus, national consensus. And once that national consensus is emerged, we then now move towards a referendum. When that is done, we will be able now to see a united country. Both of us are Pan-Africanists. We believe in the ability of the African people to develop Africa. Uhuru's father was at one of the founding conference of Pan-Africanism in Manchester. We believe that Africa does not deserve to be where it is today. Africa is through mediocrity of leadership that Africa has remained backward. Africa is the richest continent in terms of resources. It's a paradox that the richest is also the poorest in terms of living conditions. That this can be changed. That the African lion can roar. We believe that if given a chance, we can be able to ensure that Africans get what they want, that get value addition to the raw materials that is right now being exported out of the continent. And that you can stem this tide of Africans dying in the Mediterranean Sea, seeking greener pastures in Europe, by creating conditions through which they can get employment in the continent of Africa. It can be done.